It's raw, Melissa!
Yes, chef.
It's raw, come on! The freshest thing in this kitchen is that
Sith Lord.
Wow, that is delicious. Finally, some good fucking food.
Tales of the Jedi is a new series of shorts on Disney Plus about Ahsoka and Count Dooku. Each character gets 3 shorts ranging from 8 to 15 minutes long. Ahsoka's shorts intend to flesh out her story before, during, and after the Clone Wars, while Dooku's stories focus on his motivation leading up to his debut in Attack of the Clones. I'll be individually rating and covering these as individual episodes, so let's get started. The first short is about Ahsoka as a baby and starts with her birth. Oh wow, what an adorable infant. Doesn't this just make you want to buy merchandise and support the Disney Corporation? On Ahsoka's first birthday, her mother takes her on a hunting trip. Ahsoka's mom shoots a deer and is like, "Only the strongest will survive," and then kills the deer, and she shares the blood between her and her infant.
Blood for the blood god!
This is interrupted by a yellow saber-toothed tiger. The mom and the tiger fight until the village shows up and starts a firing squad on the beast. It picks up the baby and runs away. Do predators do this? Shouldn't it have just been like, Ahsoka is brought into a cave where I thought they'd use force healing again, but instead she just touches the tiger's nose and it delivers her back to the village where they're like, "This child is a Jedi." 6 out of 10. It's obvious cute bait, and I better not catch any of you falling for it. The second short is about Count Dooku and Qui-Gon resolving a hostage situation. Count Dooku do be looking jank as fuck, but he gets a beard later, so I won't be too harsh. A senator's son has been kidnapped and the search has led to this village. Dooku goes into the tavern and finds out that the whole town was in on the job, and they're willing to bring the two to the son since they're Jedi. They go and talk to the son, and he's sympathetic towards the villagers since he didn't know what life was like for them. Then the senator shows up with a police squad to get his son. The Jedi stand up to him and a shootout ensues. After sustaining heavy casualties, the villagers yield, but Dooku unleashes his inner Twitter user and attacks the police with intent to kill a politician, until Qui-Gon releases the son, and together they get the Count to step off. The conflict is resolved and they reveal that Dooku's Padawan was Qui-Gon for all the casuals in the audience.
You're a much wiser man than I, Qui-Gon Jinn.
I enjoyed this one, but like most of these, it's just too short to get invested, but what's there is pretty effective. 8 out of 10. The third short has a similar setup, and I have very similar feelings about it. Dooku goes to a planet with Mace Windu who... What did they do to his face? He looks fine from the side, I guess. They're here to pick up a Jedi's body, but Dooku thinks they should investigate the death as well. They come to the conclusion that the Senator and or his men killed the Jedi. The Senator rats on his men and they kill him for it. There's a quick action scene and a guard comes clean that they killed the Jedi in an effort to convince the Senator to improve quality of life for his people. At this point it's more than clear that Dooku is being convinced that the Republic is beyond saving and the Jedi are a symptom of this, which is why he would become the face of the Confederacy. Back on Coruscant, they hold a funeral for the Jedi, and it's revealed that Windu will be replacing her on the Jedi Council. Dooku is like, "This is outrageous. It's unfair. How can I be this old and not be on the council?" To which Windu responds, "Take a seat, motherfucker, you got a man killed." Like I said, it's similar to the last one in a few ways. I'd say this is intentional as it helps Dooku's shift in beliefs feel more natural, but overall it's about the same quality as short number 2. 8 out of 10. The fourth short starts with Dooku using Sifo Dyas' identity to make sure that the archives are incomplete. This is a nice tying of loose ends for the plot of the prequels. I enjoy it. While exiting the library, he hears about Darth Maul being discovered and goes to talk to Qui-Gon about it. Liam Neeson returned to play Qui-Gon in this scene, and his son played him in the first Dooku short. Neat. Also, Yaddle is there. She talks like a normal person, so that means either Yoda talks like that because he's old or because he's just fucking weird. Fast forward to the end of Phantom Menace, Dooku is mourning Qui-Gon on Coruscant rather than attending the funeral. Yaddle speaks to him, then he leaves to go talk to Sidious. Yaddle follows him because I guess she sensed darkness or something. The Sith are like, "Wow, being evil is so great, I'm glad I betrayed my family and friends for this." Yaddle hears this and steps out. Also, don't think I didn't see that ugly-ass Clone Wars Palpatine under the hood. Yaddle and Dooku fight, and I have to say, lightsaber fights look fucking amazing in this style now, and it's a crime that there are so few of them. Dooku wins, Yaddle fucking dies. Oh wait, she's back. Now she's dead. This short is phenomenal. It fills in some dead air in the prequel's plot while also being an excellent end to this trilogy of shorts. Pour one out for Yaddle, 10 out of 10. The fifth short takes place during the first year of the Clone Wars and follows Ahsoka doing Jedi training. Oh, maybe the character design isn't bad. Anakin says that the test they had her do was baby shit and tells her to train with him for a real challenge. He brings her to a hangar full of clones and has a child soldier order the other children soldiers to shoot at this teenage girl. Purely personal, but the clones look stellar in this scene. Phase 1 clones do not get enough love. They start firing at her, and they do this over and over until it time jumps to the second year of the war, and it's shown that they kept doing this training throughout. Ahsoka's doing really good, then Rex is like, it time jumps again to the finale of Clone Wars, and this is a cheap shot. It still works, fuck you. This is the shortest of the lot and thus achieves the least while being almost the least relevant to the plot it's connected to. Still enjoyable though, 7 out of 10. The sixth short is just the plot of Kenobi but streamlined. Ahsoka is at Padme's funeral where Bail Organa gives her a comm device.
Here. ¿Quieres?
Flash forward and she's working as a farmhand and eventually reveals her force sensitivity to someone.
Are you telling me that
Bail
just happens to fall like that? No, he orchestrated it.
This causes a snitch-ass motherfucker to call an Inquisitor. This Inquisitor is Reaper from Overwatch, and he burnt down the village. Why did the snitch call the Empire to his village? He could have set up an ambush wherever Ahsoka was going. Anyway, Ahsoka comes back to the snitch and his father being held hostage. She saves the snitch, Reaper realizes who she is, starts edge-walking at her, takes one swing, she steals his lightsaber and cuts his head off. I hate Inquisitors. Ahsoka calls Organa to bail these guys out and he asks her if she wants to be in an inferior animated show. There's not a whole lot to this episode, especially with the Kenobi parallels, but I think the reveal and build-up of the Inquisitor is cool enough to justify it. Yeah, he gets killed like a bitch, but that's just what Inquisitors do. Disappoint. 7 out of 10. This series was a nice return to the Clone Wars style, since Bad Batch was pretty underwhelming. The little additions to the overarching plot makes this an easy recommendation, along with being a good watch on its own terms. Easily my favorite Star Wars content since The Mandalorian.
I turned her in. I should be rewarded.
You lie to me and expect Imperial favor?
He's not lying.
You actually this stupid.
I don't know.
You don't know. You know why you don't know? Because you don't think. That's why. You don't think. You never figured out how to think. You killed me is what you've done. You've signed my death warrant.